right, my friends, aloha. I'm pumped for today. We're at another Aloha Friday episode. I'm already shifting in my chair. I'm knocking down shit behind me. But you know what? I don't even care because today, dude, we got Jackson Campbell, Tyler Devereaux, and we are going through that final step in the 7-step framework of taking ownership of your life, and I'm pumped. Dude, to wrap this one up, I'm very excited. I'm very glad that we went through these steps in this framework.
Dude, it's been awesome. These past 8 episodes, I guess, with the first one.
Yep.
This is the 8th episode, have all been very, very impactful, my man. There's been fantastic actionables taken out of each episode and incredible framework set, dude. For anybody that really wants to truly own their life, dude, you broke it down so well. And it's been some very impactful and life-changing episodes if you let them change your life, for sure.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'll give another actionable, because what's been cool about it, bro, is it's forced me to break it down.
Yeah,
it's forced me to think about it, right? So these things that you're doing in your life that are helping you get results. What if you just thought to yourself, like, man, what if I had to give a podcast episode on this? What if I had to give a presentation on this? And you really went through to think through what you would present and talk about. How powerful would that be for you? Massive. How do I know that? Because I've just had to do this for you, which has really been for me, dude, because it's forced me to really break it down and think through the steps that I take. And it's been powerful for me, dude. So I've really enjoyed it.
That's awesome, dude. Beneficial on all ends, then, I'd say. Do we want to review those quick steps? Those steps
Sure.
Before we dive into the 7th one. Also, podcast drops every single day, Monday through Thursday. Dallas Pruitt. Friday, Tyler Devereaux. Saturday, back to Dallas Pruitt. Definitely tune in and subscribe to the podcast for sure if you haven't already. But as we dive in here, T, let's break down those seven steps. Let's review those.
So this is the 7-step framework for taking ownership of your life. Step 1 is you need to identify what your values are. Step 2, then you set goals in alignment of those values. Step 3 is you take responsibility, man, for the outcomes you're looking for. Number 4 is you shift your perspective along the way, because, man, your perspective drives performance, and your perspective is your reality, and how we view what we do will impact how we do what we do. Inky Johnson quote. Number 5, be proactive, meaning get out and make it happen. Number 6, take care of yourself. It's the one that dropped last. And then number 7, step 7, final step number 7 is surround yourself with some badass motherfucking high achievers. That's what we'll talk about today.
Dude, I love it, dude. To lead into this topic, my man, why is your inner circle and your environment, more specifically, so important?
Massively important, dude. Your environment is massively important. Like, our identity governs our actions, right? I'm sure that I've said this on here multiple times, and there's multiple ways to shape your identity. Even though your identity governs your behaviors will also start to shape your identity, right? Definitely. Honoring self-promises is one way to shape your identity. Another one is one is circle of influence. It's friend. There is no greater influence than friend, man. It's friend. So surrounding yourself with people, we've all heard this, right? We've heard that you are the average of the top 5 people you surround yourself with. We all know that, but we don't understand why that is. It's because their identity rubs off on you, right? Their identity rubs off on you. So I've talked about this before too, where I'm like, man, if I'm a 200 degreer, and I think I got this from Ed Milet. I'm pretty sure I got this from Ed Milet. But if I'm a 200 degreer and you, whoever you are, is a 72 degreer, and we start hanging out, I'm going to warm you up somewhere in between us. But you start hanging out with more 200 degreers, you will become a 200 degreer. And why is that? It's because their identity rubs off on you. So who are the 5 people that you surround yourself with? And what's crazy, if you do that, if you truly look at that, I would imagine, or I would guess, or I would predict, or I would guarantee you that there are some similar, the most important parts are very similar. For example, one of those parts is an example, your financial side of things. If you make $100,000, I bet that it's usually within 25% range. So if you make $100,000, I bet that the people that you surround yourself with make anywhere from 75 to 125K. If you have $500K saved up, I bet that they have somewhere within 25% of that saved up as well. It's powerful. So
it is. You kind of end up flocking together.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of what you're saying.
Yeah, and you challenge each other. So
yeah.
Your identity is so important, though, dude, because like one of the most powerful forces available is to be consistent with your identity. We kind of talked a little bit about that even last trip. Probably talked about that a lot.
A lot, yeah, definitely.
But the reality is, like, you can change you, take ownership for you, but your world won't change unless your circle changes. And sometimes that's hard, dude, to change your circle. In fact, I think that's. But here's what I would challenge you to think of, and obviously you probably already know that it's important to surround yourself with high achievers.
Yeah.
Hopefully, and you want to surround yourself with high achievers. But I also want to just drill down one more thing before we get into how you actually do that. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Which is, this was monumental for me when I really saw this and understood this, and I'm sure that you relate to this, which is you have those friends. We all have these friends, right, that you're very comfortable with, and then friends that you're friends with, but you're like friends that you're very comfortable with, meaning that they can come over to your house is an absolute wreck, a mess, or whatever, and you're just like, whatever, dude.
Yeah, you don't care. Yeah.
But then there's those friends that challenge you a little bit, right? Where if they're gonna come over, you're like, oh my God, I gotta clean this house up real quick. I gotta make right.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing because your friends. Okay, how does your circle see you? Do they see you as you are? That's powerful. You need some of those people, right? And they love you and see you for who you are, or do they see you for who you could be? See, comfortable friends see you as who you are. And once again, you need some of those. Those are powerful. But you also need people who are growth-oriented friends who see you as you could be. Because when you surround yourself, and we need to surround ourselves with people like this, but we need to surround ourselves with people that challenge us, dude. Because listen what I'm about to say. Nothing grows in comfort. I don't grow in comfort. You don't grow. So nothing grows in comfort, including you. So you need people that you surround yourself with that challenge you, dude, push you, drive you to think better, think bigger, live better, right?
Yeah. Dude, I think of Ryan for you and him being that amazing friend for you that pushes you to think bigger and do more. Dude, what has that done for you partnering up with Ryan, such a 200-degreer?
Yeah.
That burns so hot all the time as well. Like what has that done for you? Think back for when you guys first partnered up. What did that do for you at that time?
So Ryan and I have done this for each other on different levels. And this is what will happen, right? You'll do this for different people at different levels.
Absolutely.
For example, if we were to think of what is possible, 100% I thought bigger than Ryan did, for sure. But when we think through actions.
How it's possible?
Yeah. Ryan is a man of action.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan is like, I'm just going to get in and get shit done. And it is, bro, it's been amazing to see that. That has absolutely enhanced there's been multiple people, obviously, throughout my life that it's like, holy shit, they've enhanced my belief on possible. And Ryan is very much he's an unrealistic optimist. I believe I am too. But he gets in and gets shit done. And so showing me that you don't just wish, you don't just dream, you freaking get in and do, and then see the actions, the results that come from doing that. Also relationships. We talk about inner circle. Ryan is a very connected person because he's always connecting other people. So enhancing my belief and seeing, like, man, as you connect other people, as you provide value, the results that come from that. You'll hear me say value creation leads to wealth creation. You want to know why I say that? Because I've seen Ryan Woolley do it.
Time and time again.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, dude. I want to just kind of circle back to what you said at the very beginning of that is there's times where you're helping him burn hotter.
Oh, yeah.
There's times where he's helping you burn hotter as well, right? Which is a beautiful thing and an important thing when you're talking about these inner circles.
Totally.
Is to have that back and forth. There's times where you're burning hotter. There's times where they're burning hotter. And that's exactly what you're talking about, dude. And that's exactly what I see with you and Ryan.
But
all the time. When Ryan comes into town, let's make sure the office is spotless. Let's make sure the you know what I mean? But it's this. I know it's the exact same thing when you go to Orlando.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
When you go to the Orlando office, I know it's the exact same thing. So it's just such a good example. I just wanted to pull out, dude, and how it's benefited your life both personally and professionally too, dude.
It's been phenomenal.
It's like the perfect example of this to me.
He's also he's seen me for who I could be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to let that slide. Do you want to know how I became a speaker? Ryan told people that I was a speaker.
Let's back that up a little bit. Yeah.
It's literally
Tell that quick story.
Dude, before I had ever spoken, I had literally done like some intros for speakers, or I had like, dude, really nothing. Like, honestly, I did one small thing in a social media event, but it's like Ryan just kept telling people that I was a speaker and I was great at speaking. And then what happened? Because he knew I wanted to become a speaker, but he saw me for who I could be, man. So he started telling people that I was a speaker, and guess what? I became a speaker. That's what happened. Like, awesome. He literally like enhanced my belief on those kind of things. You know who else has done that? I don't want to leave this spot before I is Brittany. I mean, holy shit, dude. I look at Britt and the time in my life that Britt found me, I was an asshole. I had been through some shitty relationships. I was an asshole. I was not even remotely looking at all for someone to settle down with.
Right.
But I will say this, immediately I was like, oh no, she's the one. I knew immediately, dude. Literally immediately. She didn't necessarily know that. She was a hard mother effing sell. But she saw me for who I could be. She still sees me for who I can be all the time. And I want you to know that is not loving. That's she loves me for who I am, but loves me enough to help me get to who I can be, you know? And I love her for that. Like, she sees the best in me and helps me get to the best of me, you know?
Yeah, those are those people that stay in your circle no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because you evolve and you change and you become different and your circle changes and new people come into your circle. But those people, like a Brittany,
yep,
they come a lot of times in the spouse form. Sometimes they come in friendship form too, dude. But those are the type of people that you'll always have around in your circle, and you want to keep.
Because we grow together, man. We grow together. You know, we make sure that we grow together.
Dude,
yeah.
That's so good, man.
Really, that means she makes sure that we grow together. She's always that one pulling me up.
That's awesome. It's awesome, man. Brittany, shout out Brittany.
Yeah, B-Dev,
legend.
I love you.
Okay, dude. So how do you go about doing that and finding those people? Yeah, finding those people for your inner circle and creating that.
And that is where the bulk of this episode needs to be, because if you're listening to this, for God's sakes, you better know that you need to continually enhance your circle. I mean, and why that's so important, right? Our environment is very, very important.
Is there anything else you want to add on that before we dive into these
just
steps,
in case,
dude?
if somebody doesn't think the environment is important, if you
use your brain. If you don't think that that's possible, if that's a real thing, use your brain.
Well,
because then you'll realize.
If you put water in a freezer, you're crazy to think that it won't turn into ice.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna freeze.
But you take that same ice and you put it into the ocean, you'll be crazy to think that it won't turn into salt water. It's like, your environment's important, okay, period. Now, how do you change your environment? How do you change and enhance your inner circle? Number one, and listen, you take ownership of your life, man. It's literally everything that we've been talking about. You take ownership of your life, because you want to know what, man? When you're taking ownership of your life, it's attractive, dude. Like, high achievers want to surround themselves with people who own their shit. Period. Who own their shit. Like, so take ownership of your life. All this framework that we've been walking through will lead you to this last step, which is, dude, enhancing your circle. So take ownership for your life, and you will start to see your circle enhance because you're taking ownership for it, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Another one, though, is I talk about these KMIs, key momentum indicators. And you have to display these all the time purposefully. And, you know, I don't think we go through 5, but like my top 3 that I pull, okay, are this sense of urgency. That's attractive, dude. Sense of urgency, this undying, unwavering sense of urgency to accomplish your goals. Because that person doesn't have time for excuses. They don't have time to, they get shit done. And once again, that's attractive. you know. Another one is a high speed of implementation and execution. Once again, your rate of success will be based upon your speed of execution. Mm-hmm. I believe we are where we are as a company because, dude, Ryan is a man of action, dude. You'll tell me, we'll be talking, and we'll be like, hey, man, we need to call so-and-so. And I'll be like, okay, yep. And I'll go to be putting it on my to-do list. Next thing I look over, and Ryan's calling that mother F. He's a man of action. Mm-hmm. Okay. Another one, it is a desire to learn more and become an expert. And the reason that's important is because that's growth, dude. To know that, like, you're never going to know it all, ever.
No.
The learning doesn't stop, dude. In fact, the more that you know, the more you realize you don't know, right?
Yeah.
But you have this desire to learn. Do you want to know how Ryan and I really became knowledgeable in space? We didn't want to look dumb. So we would learn anytime. Literally, we would take ownership of this. Anytime that somebody would ask us a question, and we didn't know it, well, we would go study the shit out of that. Or if we thought that there would be questions or situations or that we wouldn't studied the shit out of that. That's how we became knowledgeable. Anyway, I riffed a little bit.
No, dude, it's so good. It's so good. Again, we're going through these like more or less attributes that you need to have in order to put yourself in a position to find these people.
Yeah, have
to
and
create.
Display.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I think we can all have them, but we have to like literally display them. We have to show that we're doing these things. And it's crazy because as you're doing that and you're taking ownership from your life and you're enhancing your life, honestly, it's almost a natural process that your environment, your inner circle will start to change. But it's not just going to happen on its own. It might in the beginning, mm-hmm. but the higher you climb, the more intentional you have to be about the climb and about the circle that's helping you climb. You know?
So good. Yeah. So true. Yeah. So what else? What else is there, dude? What else? How else do we do that?
Last episode, we talked a lot about being aware or being conscious of, right? Mm-hmm. Consciousness. Okay. Dude, take a look at your inner circle. Like literally, we talk about the top 5 people, but when was the last time you really listed out the top 5 people you spend the most time with? And who are those people? And do they have attributes that you want to be like? Because it doesn't need to be, every attribute, but are there things about that person that you admire? Are there things about that person do they have something that you want, right? Want to become?
That you want to acquire, yeah.
Or not, right? So like identify it. Like who do you spend your time with? Who do you look for? Who do you turn to for advice? That's a freaking big one. Holy shit. I look at the people that people turn to for advice. Well, there's your problem 99% of the time. Like, who are you turning to for advice? I remember taking financial advice from people who
were broke.
Yeah, didn't have dick.
Yeah.
But it's who I knew. It's like they were
trusted them.
And it's not that there's anything wrong with those people. They're trying their best, dude. Yeah. It's like, be intentional with that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, nothing against those people, dude. They were telling you what they think is best, right?
Yeah,
like they were doing they were trying to do what's best for sure.
Totally.
Yeah, dude.
So who are you taking advice from? Who are you turning to for that advice? Are they people that you want to be like? And do they energize you or drain you? One of my rules, dude, is if you're always taking, dude, you don't exist in my circle. You don't. And it's not that I just cut shit off. It's like, it's literally a survival tactic. Mm-hmm. It just is. We've had those people in office before, yes or no?
We have.
Past tense.
Past tense. Yes. Not anymore. Past.
Yeah, do you know what happened? Did I just necessarily remove?
No. They removed themselves.
I would have if I needed to, but, they removed themselves, dude, because we have a standard of excellence for how we do and what we do. And we don't, you hear this, people say meet them where they are. I don't believe that. I don't believe in that, dude. Like if I'm going to throw a party, bro, think about this. If I'm going to throw a party and I'm like, okay, hey, and you're like, hey man, Tyler, can we at my house? You're like, hey Tyler, can we just do it at my house instead? I'll be like, no, bro, the party's at my house. You're like, well, can we just maybe meet like halfway? No. The party's at my house. And it's like, listen, man, don't meet people where they are. It's like, dude, you want to be anyway. So I don't meet people where they are, man. If I have something that you want, hopefully, right? And if not, then I need to surround myself with people. But if I'm going to somebody's party, if I want to surround myself with something that they want, dude, I don't want them to meet me where I am. I want to meet them and go to where they're at, dude.
Yeah.
Like, dude, listen, like this party example, right? No, I'm not going to meet you where you're at. You're going to come to my fucking house and it's going to be a hell of a party, dude.
Yeah.
It's bitching.
Yeah.
And you're going to enjoy it. Or you won't.
Yep.
But I ain't going to just go down to this level. I'm going to elevate you to a new level.
Yeah.
And I need people that help elevate me to a new level.
So good.
So dude,
good.
that actionable, though, is like literally identify and evaluate your circle. Judge. Be judgy for a minute. That's okay.
Yeah. But be judgy on what things?
Is that the question?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Well, think about step one of the framework. What's step one of the framework?
Identify your values.
Yep. That's what you should be judging on. Do they have the same values as you? Like, do they have that? Number two is your goals. So are they what are those goals, right? Not just short term, but long term. Where are they at? How can they help you get there? How can you help them get there, right? Like, who are they? And not just financial. This isn't just financial or success goals, but like, do you want to know why this question is, how do you enhance your inner circle, right? I've told you this before, but what's one thing that I absolutely love about you that's like, I need that dude in my circle or I want that dude in my circle?
I mean, you've given me lots of compliments, so I don't know exactly which one you're diving for here, dude, but energy?
Yep.
The energy that I bring to spaces?
You're a very positive, energetic dude, for sure. Dude, you care about other people.
I do. I love people.
You have a great heart.
Yeah.
You know who will always be in my circle? Paxton. One, because he's my son. But two, god damn, he has the best heart.
Yeah.
He just has the best heart. So do you, though.
Thanks, man.
You know? Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, it's finding those people that are going to elevate you and help you acquire those things too, right?
100%. Think about what we talked about last episode too. Spiritually, emotionally, intellectually, physically, financially. Yeah. So they have those components. Right?
So good. So good. And anything else? Anything else here as you're trying to find those things?
Then identify your ideal circle. Okay. Right. So once you've evaluated your circle, then it's like, okay, well, where do you need to add or enhance your circle? And what does that look like? Like what qualities do you need to, what qualities do people need, what qualities do you need people to have to help elevate to another level, right? Whatever that may be. Okay, and maybe I'll give you some examples. What achievements do they have, or even what would your relationship with them be like, right? Would it be a comfortable one? Would it be a one that pushes you and challenges you? And how would it push you and challenge you, right? And you have to enjoy hanging out with the people that are in your inner circle.
Definitely.
So how do you enjoy hanging out with them? Well, your values are aligned, your goals are aligned, and dude, you're moving, man, in the direction of. So,
another thing that I'll add there, dude, is you're helping them and they're helping you.
It should always be reciprocal, yeah.
Always, dude. Yeah. Always. Like, I know there's things that I've helped you with.
Yep.
And I know that there's things you've helped me with, dude. But it's exactly that. It's that give and take, always pushing each other, always helping each other, holding each other accountable. It's those things that really solidify that circle as well too.
So, but part of that, with what you just said, which is a huge actionable, is number one, understanding that everyone needs something. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we look at somebody who's in another level than us in whatever area, and it's hard for us to. It's like, man, how do I crack into that inner circle? Like, it's this self-limiting belief. Well, really what you do is you care about what they care about, man. What do they care about? And then you show that you care about those same things and understanding that everyone needs something. Everyone is looking to grow in some level. And just because maybe somebody's at a different financial status or they're in a different, their title is different or whatever the hell it is. All these things that we use to be like, man, is like, we elevate other people.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
well, who are you? Be yourself, dude. Right? Just be yourself, but also dedicated to being your best self, but understanding that everyone needs something, man. What do they need? And believe that you can actually help people.
Yeah. It's so good. We talk about this inner circle, and I've a fantastic inner circle right now in my life. It's incredible. And there's a lot of joy to be found in these inner circles. I say that and I bring that up, dude, because a lot of times, just as humans, we don't want to receive things. We don't want to be of charity. Mm-hmm. We don't want to be a charity case, or we don't want to, you know what I mean? We want to give more than we receive, dude. But in these circles, in this inner circle that you should be creating, if you have a tight, good inner circle, there's give and take all the time.
Amen.
But you also realize that it's not really give and take, because if I'm pouring into Tyler and he's going to pour back into me, aren't I really just pouring into myself at that point? And to my environment, you know what I mean? Into my environment that's going to create a better thing for me as well.
Yep.
So it's an awesome thing, dude.
Can I give an example?
Thing. Yeah.
Think about Rowan, okay? Let me tell you, some of you know who Rowan is, some of you don't, but Rowan is our Chief Purpose and Operations Officer. She is really, in the hierarchy of MFM, like, she's second in line as far as, like, she's not an owner, but she is second in line operationally, dude. How did she get there? She was a student of ours. She went to our presentation, right? And what did she do? She sent, like, dude, kind, sincere messages of, like, hey, man, this is where I connect. This is where I resonate. This is what you help me with. It's like, dude, she just, like, not that you have to, like, send, you know, that.
Every situation's different. Every relationship's different. Yeah.
But she, like, really, she just connected.
Yeah.
And then we get on the phone call, right? And we get on a phone call because why are we getting on the phone call? Well, I want to help them. That's what I want to do. Her and her husband, Marcus. Well, Marcus can't make the phone call. Rowan's on the phone call. I just start chatting with her. By the time we get done with the phone call, I hang up. I was like, oh, shit. I didn't help them with it. Rowan just helped me with. We talked about business. And she was, a high up in at CVS. But she's a coach. That's what she is. So professionally, right, business-wise, I had done what I had done. But she's a coach, and coaches know that they can get more out of people at all levels, no matter what. And so what does she want to do? She wants to help get more. So she help get more out of me? She helped me see things. And I literally hung up from that call. I was like, oh, my God, dude. I called them to help them. But what in reality, like, and this happened like 3-4 phone calls. I was like, dude, she is like, I'm literally hanging up every phone call and getting so much value from it. That then what ultimately happened, dude, she became part of the inner circle, man. Nick Ham is another one that I've been working with recently. Dude, I run multiple businesses, high-level businesses. Nick Ham has as well. But what does Nick Ham do now? He works with business owners like me. And there's levels where, I'll tell you, Nick Ham knows how to get the most out of me, though. Mm-hmm. He knows how to help me. He's a great leader, and he knows how to help me lead. And and how he does that is he helps me lead myself. So it's like, that dude, it's like I want to call him all the time because every time I get off the phone with him, I have learned more. Why? Because he believes he can help me. Rowan believes he can help me. You believe that you can help me. Why? By just being you, right? Yeah.
It's so good. So, man, it's such an important thing, man. It's such an important thing when building this circle or auditing your inner circle, changing your inner circle, to take a look at these things that Ty's talking about and really ask yourself these questions. Last episode, we talked a lot about consciousness, right? It's the same thing here.
Yes.
Who are you surrounding yourself with, and be conscious and strategic with that as well.
Yep.
Dude, anything else that you want to add there when it comes to what it is or how do we find these people to be in our inner circle?
Can I just say taking ownership of your circle?
Yeah.
Like, you think of the journal, right? Our daily journal that we use. One of the sections in the beginning talks about who do you want to connect with? Well, why is that there? Well, those people that you should want to connect with should be people that can enhance your inner circle. So who do you want to connect with and why? So then you can go to work on building strategic relationships by identifying it, right? Now you can go to work creating it. So strategic relationships with people that you want to build, and then remove toxic relationships. That's where people get hung up, though, right? The removal of.
Yeah, the removal of.
Why do people get hung up on that?
I think each person's different. For me, I've gotten hung up on this.
And how come?
Because I love the person.
Yep.
I want to be there with the person. I really like spending time with that individual.
Okay, so tell me about that, though. You like spending time with them, but you want to remove them. What do you mean?
I guess maybe I don't like spending time with them, and that's probably why I need to remove them.
I think you do. No. They're comfortable, bro.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like, it's easier to remove somebody that's toxic.
Yeah.
Even though some people still struggle with that, which is crazy to me. It's like, that's you just feeling like you're stuck. You're never stuck unless you believe you're stuck. True. First off, that could be. Dude, I've had conversations with people at boot camps where they're like, "Hey, this is the situation, right?" And they now I understand there's always two sides. First off, but they'll relay this information to me. I'll be like, "Then leave." Well, it's more complicated than that. It's because you think it's more complicated than that. Dude, leave. Like, holy shit, man. I look at my parents as an example. My parents were married for 18 years, bro.
It's a long time.
They weathered that fucking storm for 18 years. They are opposites. They are polar opposites, man. They should never have been married for 18 years.
Yeah.
I watched horrible. They thought that what they were doing was serving. And God bless them because they're trying to make shit work. But, dude, sometimes you just need to be real and be like, actually, we are completely separate individual. We're different people. And you know what? The initial divorce, God, struggle, tough, hard, uncomfortable. The long-term benefits that are reaped to that, they are both way happier. So it's, once again, shifting your perspective. One of the steps in this framework, shift your perspective and understand that, yes, that may suck in the short term, but do you see that person helping you get to where you're looking at long term? And are you really helping that person? Are you? If it's toxic, no.
No.
You're not. So, okay, now, elevate yourself, right? Take care of yourself. When you take care of yourself, your circle will naturally enhance. Why? Because you're enhancing your circle. But removing people, okay, that aren't necessarily just toxic, they're just comfortable. It doesn't mean that you remove. It means that they fall out of the top 5 is what that is. They need to fall out of the top 5. Meaning, can you still spend time with them? Sure, but maybe you're not turning to them for advice. Maybe you're not turning to them for, and spending every freaking waking moment with them. Maybe that's not the person. Because do you know what that really is doing? Allowing you to elevate. And when you elevate, I promise you that person will be forced to make a decision to either elevate, which is actually one of the most loving things you could possibly do, or, dude, they won't.
Or separate.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that shit happens too.
It does.
But it's so much easier on this other side of things, dude, because, and I say this other side of things, I'm still dealing with this at every level. First off, it never changes. Every, I won't say a time frame, but you need to be enhancing your circle all the time. But you just do. Looking at your circle as you're looking to elevate and grow, okay?
Pay attention to those things for sure.
Totally. But, dude, you're going to have to remove, once again, to be able to truly elevate. The other side of it, though, is you have to build your, this has always been important to me, too, right? Which is building and growing the people that you are surrounded with. Because if not, well, then you're completely doing a rehash all the time. Plus, then you're just being selfish, I believe. If you're only growing yourself, but you're not trying to grow others. And once again, I want to be clear. Sometimes you're going to try to grow others and they don't want to grow. You can't force them. That's on them, not on you.
Mm-hmm.
But, dude, enhance the lives and grow other people. Because when you do that, now your circle is growing with you, right? If not, then you're just surrounded by a bunch of losers, which means you will halt and stunt your growth.
Yeah. So good. It's so good and so powerful because it's so true, dude. It's so true, and I've seen you do it, and I see you constantly do it. Audit that inner circle constantly. Be paying attention to who you're spending your time and energy with, because ultimately, like we discussed, it comes back to you.
Yep.
You know, you talk about in here removing toxic relationships. It's going to be the best thing for you, and it's going to be the best thing for them as well. They may not realize that at the time.
Yeah.
But it is. It's going to be the best thing. It's in that discomfort is always going to be where those breakthroughs happen, dude.
Dude, when here's questions that you can just expect as you're truly growing, right? As you're pursuing new things. It's like, hey man, hey, I understand you're excited right now, but maybe think about it. Hey, you know that's going to be challenging. Hey, you know there's going to be competition. Hey, do you know can you really make a living doing that? Hey, are you sure? Because it's really hard. And are you sure you have the capabilities of doing that? Like, dude, some people will tell you to, eliminate that or don't listen to that. But I will tell you that I don't even allow them in the conversation. Like, my growth is for me. Mm-hmm. I don't allow other people to in the conversation of what do I. So if you are allowing them in the conversation, that's your fault.
It's on you, for sure.
You hear them knocking, but they can't come in, right? You got it? Yeah. The song? I think it's the song, right?
I don't know. I haven't heard it. You hear them knocking, but they can't come in?
Strat, is that a song?
He's doing this. He's doing that.
I'm not sure. I can't think of it.
God, I need to enhance my inner circle with some people who are older than 20. 1940 song. Nico from the back room. Yeah, it's a 1940s song. You hear me knocking, but you can't come in. Oh shit! I don't allow them in that. That is funny. 1940s. That was then remade in the 90s and the 2000s to a bitchin' song. I'm sure.
And now
I'm bringing it back full circle. But I don't allow them in the conversation, dude. It's my life. I'm taking ownership of my life now, dude. If I'm going to be taking advice, I'm going to be taking advice from people that the quickest way to get from where you are to where you want to be is to follow somebody who's done it. Mm-hmm. That seems so simple, but really where do we get off track? Pride and comfort.
Yeah.
That's where.
Yeah. Awesome. Anything else you want to add here?
With enhancing your inner circle and how we do that.
Yeah.
Maybe the last bit of advice. Well, I don't know if it's the last bit of advice, but don't fucking dabble, dude. Don't dabble.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, it's okay. Like, sure, dream, hope, wish, but dude, most important, dude, believe, plan, and execute. Take action on those kind of things. Like, a lot of the times we know what the problems are. A lot of times we know what the problems are and what the solutions are. Like, there's a Tony Robbins quote. He says, a lot of us know what to do, but knowing is not enough. We have to take action. Mm-hmm. So we know what the problems are. We even know what the solutions are, but we fear that taking action is too risky, or that we don't have the experience, or that it's not exactly how we pictured it, or maybe it's too soon, or, something better, may come along, or it may not work, or it's like, so what happens as a result? We do nothing. This applies to everything in our life, dude. We're talking about taking ownership of our life. This is no different than just really your relationships in your life, dude. Take action on those kind of things. Don't dabble with who you're looking to surround yourself with. Go all in on who you're looking to surround yourself with, who you need to surround yourself with to grow. Nobody has ever achieved anything noteworthy by themselves. Everything has been done in accordance with other people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So good, dude. So good, and it's so valuable, man. It's so valuable. These are just lessons that I've watched from you. I've learned by watching you do these things, dude. So it's awesome to hear you talk about them, and it is these principles and these things can change your growth trajectory so quickly if you let it, dude.
People look at it though and they think it's ruthless, right? Like, they think that some of this, like enhancing your circle, they feel like it's ruthless.
It comes back to this perspective.
Yep.
It comes back because if you're bettering yourself, and if that looks like leaving your current inner circle behind to go find a better inner circle, you really do. That's the best thing that you could do for your past inner circle.
100%.
Is to show them those things, right? Dude. Nico is always saying the Andy Frisella quote. Not always saying, she said it the other day, and it's been ringing in my ear though, is like the best. Nico, I might need to call you in here for this, but the best form of rebellion is self-discipline, or becoming your best self.
Is that what it is, Nico?
Personal excellence.
Personal excellence. That's what it is. Is the best rebellion.
Personal excellence. And why is that the best rebellion? What does that mean?
Because because in this situation, right, it's almost like you're rebelling against your old ways to become a new person.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So it's exactly that. Rebel against it, stop doing what you are doing, and start doing new things that are going to put you into new circles.
Think about some of the most influential people that you know. Why are they influential to you? Probably because you can relate to them on some level and they've achieved something that you haven't achieved. Maybe they came from a similar environment. Maybe you have similar personality traits. Maybe whatever it is, and they've achieved something that you haven't, which means they've enhanced their circle, right? They've enhanced themselves and then enhanced their circle. So when you enhance yourself and enhance your circle, you know what it shows your past circle? That they can do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You asked me last drip or last episode or something along the lines of how do you take care of yourself while taking care of others or something like that. And it was essentially my answer was take care of yourself. By taking care of yourself, you show those people how to take care of themselves, right?
Yeah.
It's no different here, dude.
Very awesome. Dude, now we kind of know what it is that we're looking for when we're creating our inner circle. Where do we go about finding those individuals, and like what does that look like? Making introductions, meeting new people. Yeah. Where do we go about doing that?
Can I give you a simple way?
Yeah.
We live in this world of social media influencers. I mean, whatever that means, right? But so a simple way, what if you just went through, like, who do you follow on social media? And maybe just clicked unfollow on fucking 98% of them that feed your news feed full of dog shit. Maybe just do that for a second. Then go through and search for people that, okay, here's what you should do. As an idea, go to somebody that you already know, that you look up to, and go see who they follow. Go see who they follow. And then click follow on a lot of those motherfuckers that they follow. It's probably in line with the direction that you're going. That step, dude, that is so many of us.
Step, dude.
Oh, it's a quick, easy step, dude. And that, guess what? You're the average of the top people you hang around or spend your most time with. Some of you spend your most time with people on social media. Just think how powerful that is, or detrimental that is.
Yeah.
Who are you listening to and following and engaging with on social media? Right?
Audit those things.
Yep. Then where else do you find them in the real world? Dude, go to events that these people hang out with. Like, if I'm looking to grow my my influence in real estate, well, I'm going to look at real estate events to go to. If I'm go to local events, man. Do meet people. Honestly, like, what's crazy are people are amazing. Holy shit. People are amazing. If you really get to know people, so get to know people first off. And this is something that, if I'm being honest, I struggle with. It's not in my natural comfort zone to just go and spark up new relationships with people. But who is really good at that?
Ryan.
And Brittany. My wife, dude. So holy shit. I've met some amazing people because that's who Brittany is, man. Right? She's the ultimate, like, she's going to be your friend. Period. Mm-hmm. You have no other option.
No.
But you want to know why? Because she goes all in. Mm-hmm. She doesn't dabble and hope that they'll become friends. She knows for a fact that they're going to become friends, and she's going to just provide so much value and love that it's like, well, God, of course she's going to be my friend.
Right.
Because she enhances your circle. She enhances it. She does. So be that person as well, right? But go to events. Go talk to people, though, dude. Just freaking talk. When you talk to people, locally is powerful because then you can spend, obviously, time with them, right? Yep. Look in your profession. Like, the profession, this is a perfect example, okay? You come into a new job. Who do you typically spend the most time with in your new job? People at your same level. You want to know why? Because it's comfortable. Don't do that shit. Go and, for example, when I started a sales job in my early 20s. And we traveled a bunch. And which means we drove in cars to different locations, okay? We'd fly somewhere, but then we'd drive in cars. And what would happen is lower tier would drive together, upper tiers would drive together. Well, I tried to buck that as much as possible, dude. I would want to drive with a speaker. I would want to drive with the people that were, dude, at a higher level than I was, and I would pick their freaking mind. and I would get to know them, and I would figure out what made their clock tick, and I'd figure out what they did on their drives. What did they talk about? What do these people talk about on their drives versus being stuck in this car with a bunch of people at my level versus what we talk about?
Yeah.
They talk about different shit. So in your individual profession that you're in right now, are you congregating and associating with those at your same level? I bet you are, because it's comfortable. Oh, man, you complain about the same shit with the people at your level because it's fucking comfortable. What if you just went up higher and started hanging out with those types of people? Your perspective would change. And guess what else would change? Your life. Mm-hmm. And guess what else would change? Your role within the company would change, because you're seeing things from a different perspective. You're growing. And, dude, if you're growing as a person, you're going to grow within any environment you're in. Company, the relationship with your spouse, family, whatever. You're going to grow. So it's one of the biggest pieces of advice that I give is that what I just gave.
So good. One thing that I want to add to what you just said is be that person that you're looking for.
Drill down.
Be that person you're looking for. We just went over all of these identifiers or qualities or characteristics that you should be looking for in a circle or a partner or people that you're trying to surround yourself with. Before you do that, ask yourself all of those same questions and make sure that you're that person.
Yep.
Right? I think a lot of times with growth, we study something, we learn something, and we think, oh, man, that could be applied so well to so-and-so. Man, so-and-so really needs to hear this. Man, that podcast, I'm going to send it to so-and-so. It's going to help them a ton. Before even taking the time to listen and internalize it and implement it ourselves. Right?
Yeah.
So today we talked about how you can find these people, what it is that you're looking for. But before you even take a step out to go look for those people, make sure you're the type of person that you would want in your inner circle.
There's relationship rules that I go through. Number one is to identify yourself. Mm-hmm. Like literally look inward. Most people who don't get anywhere in life have themselves to blame, dude. So like look inward. What Jackson just said is critical. It's like who are you trying to, like, think of a partner, right? A spouse, even, as you will. Well, what kind of spouse are you looking to attract? Well, okay, are you that person? Mm-hmm. Be that person.
Right.
And guess what you'll attract, right? It's the law, dude, it's law of attraction. Mm-hmm. You attract the people that you deserve to attract.
So if we're trying to look for these people, be them, and they'll find you, and you'll find them.
Yeah.
I believe that's how the universe works, for sure.
I 110% agree, man. 110%. Awesome. I love that. Yeah, look inward, dude.
And like we could even end the whole series on that as well, right?
It's taking ownership,
yep. Looking inward, doing all of this framework that you've laid out. Ty, this is the end of the last step of that amazing framework that you've put forward here on how to own your life. So I just want to review these 7 steps really quick.
Can I explain why it's the last?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because as you're taking ownership of your life, and you can review the steps, but as you're taking ownership of your life, your life will only continue to excel as you're surrounded with people that are also continuing to excel. So once again, you can take ownership of your life and you can change you, but your world will rarely change unless you change your world. Yeah. So that's why it's the last step. Then you repeat, man, because once again you're gonna jump to another level, right? You're gonna enhance your life, and then guess what? You go through these again, man. Take ownership for the next step of your journey. Identify values, reminding, right? Maybe they change, maybe they enhance, like we talked about, I think on the last trip. Then you go through.
Yeah, then you're setting your goals.
Yes.
Based on those values.
New ones.
Setting those new goals based
elevated
on
goals.
Those elevated values. Taking responsibility
for the outcomes of that.
Of the new.
Yep.
Right? You're shifting your perspective. That's something that you're going to do throughout all of these steps.
Yep.
Being proactive. And you're going to figure out new ways to be even more proactive. You're going to take care of yourself. And then you're going to surround yourself with high achievers and other people that do these steps as well.
Yep. And then you're going to redo it again. Because every stage of the journey you're taking ownership for the new stage of the journey, right?
These stages are so good because I love all of this because a lot of the times, a few of these things, if not all of these things, kind of happen at once.
Yeah, sure.
It's like these things is we're always working on all of the time.
Yep.
So, dude, I thank you, man. These past 8 episodes have been so powerful and so implementable. If that's even a word.
New word alert. Now. Call Webster's.
So thank you, man. It's been awesome.
Yeah, good,
it's been awesome.
Dude.
So thank you for breaking down these past 7, 8 episodes, however many it's been. These principles on how to take ownership of your life, man. Excited to see all these together. It's gonna be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Let's wrap it up with the Hawaiian value for today's episode. You got one?
Let me tell you a goal that I took ownership of, that we took ownership of, that we made happen. It was a goal that we had, long-term goal that we'd wanted to have happen for a long time, which was we wanted to move to an island, dude. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to move to an island. The initial plan, y'all, was to move to Maui to spend a year of unobstructed time with kids before they got into school, right? Because then their own little schedules take off. Well, that had been a goal that Brittany and I had had for a long time. Because it's in line with our values, one of my values is spending time with family, unobstructed time with family, right? So we set this goal. Then we took responsibility for that goal. We took responsibility for the goal. And I'll tell you that when you take responsibility with something, there's challenges all along the way, man. Challenging things. But along the whole, like, dude, me being laid off from jobs, me losing big freaking contractors and thinking to myself in those moments, or contracts that I had, challenges, dude, losing a home, like in those moments, shifting my perspective to, okay, how could this really be a blessing? Because I believe sometimes God has to disrupt the current path that you're on to be like, hey, cool, I know that, but let me disrupt you because I have something greater in store, right? So just shift your perspective there. Then be proactive. Then we had to be proactive on pursuing things, dude, that bring meaning, purpose, value into our lives. And I can't remember where we talked about this, but I told you there was a time where we had to freaking grind, dude. And maybe it was the last one that we talked about.
Yeah, it was.
But it was numbing myself. Maybe numbing isn't the right word, but it was, dude, just putting my head down and getting to work.
I like conditioning yourself.
I like that because it was intentional, or with intention.
Yeah, it's on purpose.
Conscious is the word.
Consciousness.
Yeah, conscious. That whole time though, then we had to take care of ourselves, right? And surround myself with high achievers, ourselves with high achievers to help us get there. And that goal, man, by going through that framework, by taking ownership of our life, we're able to move our family here to Maui. And that was a goal that I'm so grateful for every day, dude. I always say, like, it is so much easier to be grateful here on Maui because every day, shit, it's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Like, came home from a long travel. I was just beat. And Brittany comes home from taking the kids to school. And I'm taking the morning off. And she's like, hey, let's go to the beach. Yes. You know how grateful I am for that? That's like, there's different ways. It doesn't just have to be the beach. Like, you have your own beach. Now, why do I say all that before getting into the Hawaiian value? It's because the Hawaiian value is Imiola. And Imiola means to seek life, okay? It encourages us to search for, listen to the verbiage, okay? It encourages us to search for the best life that we can create. Search for the best life that we can create. Why do we have to search for the best life we can create? Because at every level, you're continually enhancing your view of possible. You're continually searching for that next level, that higher state, right? Where now your perspective changes. That's where fulfillment's found, man. And really, fulfillment's found a couple ways. Growing. That's what taking ownership of your life is all about, dude. First off is growing. Like, we create this lifestyle that we desire by growing our skills, our knowledge, our talents, our perspectives, our beliefs, our circle, our inner circle, right? And then by giving, man, because by growing, we put ourselves in a position to give. And giving is powerful, right? A position to serve. So those who live Imiola are constantly seeking improvement. They're always trying to be their best selves because they know that as they are becoming their best selves, they help other people also become their best selves. And when we truly become our best selves, we not only bless our lives, but listen, we bless the lives of all those around us. So it's all about enhancing our inner circle. Well, guess what, man? As you bless your life, seeking and searching for the best life you can create, you'll once again inspire others to do the exact same thing. Jackson just so happens to not only be in my inner circle, but to see, he's seen literally my family, like my family, the lives, their beliefs, their views, their
change.
It's been changed, dude. It's been impacted. It's been improved. That doesn't mean that they're in real estate. That doesn't mean that some of them are. But dude, it goes so much more than just your profession or the money you're making. It's how you live your life, man. It's how you, once again, searching for the best life that you can create. And then what happens, or this reminder, I guess, that I would say is, because I mentioned this, as you elevate, right? Because Emiola reminds us of this desire to stand in just higher places, like searching for creating the best life we can stand in higher places, because by standing in a higher place, while you elevate your life, you are now, you view and you see the world from a new perspective. Have you experienced that in your life?
Oh, yeah.
All of y'all have, if you've ever grown, which is all of you. You've looked back and you're like, okay, I see this now from a different perspective. That's what Emil is about. What's this new and greater perspective that even though we want to take ownership for our lives, also remembering that we're also searching for the best lives that we can create. And sometimes that means that remembering that God's plan is better than ours. And it's what I even hinted at when I led into this, which was there's challenges along the way. And why is shifting the perspective so important? It's because, dude, it's faith. It's faith to know that there's a greater plan. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you have to remove your expectation of what you think and move towards this greater perspective, man. But I'll tell you, and this is what I'll end with, is that whatever you believe in, okay, I believe in God, and but God doesn't expect perfection. But I'll tell you what he does expect, in my belief, to try your best.
Effort.
To try your hardest. Effort, right? It's your effort. Taking ownership of your life, y'all, it's not perfection, it's your effort. It's all about your effort. So Emiola embodies this reminder to try your best. Now listen to this. Gray, who's a yoga teacher out here, if you've been to Peak Partnership, you've met Gray. One of my favorite Gray quotes, okay, is when we try our best, every outcome is the necessary outcome. When you try your best, when you take ownership of your life, every outcome is the necessary outcome. Just remember that. Anything you want to add to that?
Nope. I want to end on that quote. I love that.
Y'all, take ownership of your life, man. There will be no greater blessing to your life or no greater blessing to the lives of all those around you, especially your circle, not just your past circle, but also the circle that you're creating and you're enhancing. It'll be a blessing in your life. Take ownership for your life and know that you can do that. Believe that you can do that. That's part of thinking bigger, living better, and then also living and making sure that you live always with aloha. Peace.